Hi, this is Antonio over at Real Men Real Style, and today I'm going to be talking about personal style, non-visuals, and your LinkedIn profile. So if you didn't know, we actually launched a LinkedIn group just last week, and we're asking people to go ahead and join the LinkedIn group if they'd like to learn more about business style. So far, we've had over 100 people join, and it's been really exciting. One thing that I've noticed though is that I go through and I look at everyone joining the group, I get excited about it, but then I see that about half of the people don't even have images on their LinkedIn profiles. And then I go and I start to go deeper into the LinkedIn profile, and I start to see that, wow, they actually don't, they've only got 3 or 4 connections, and they're probably just new to LinkedIn and they don't realize how important it is to put forth a good presentation on LinkedIn. So if you've spent 5 minutes registering on LinkedIn, I highly advise that you go through and spend another 25 minutes putting forth a good profile. And you're going to want to focus here at the top. It's taken me, I'd say over the last few years, I have slowly built this up and added connections, joined, close to 50 groups. To all this info you see here, I've added in over time. But when it comes down to it, when people look at your public profile, and this pops up very high in the search engines, they're only going to look at really 6 quick things. Sorry about that. And so you want to pay attention to your LinkedIn picture, your past, your education, your recommendations, your connections, and the websites. Now, you also want to pay attention to your current, but that's probably something you already filled out. And in addition, your summary is pretty important as well. But this is something that if you get the other 6 things, you're going to be perfectly fine. So let me go ahead and jump into it. The first thing is you need to have a profile picture. I see so many people who do not have a profile picture, and they're just kicking themselves in the backside. You really need to take care of this. It's something, but do it right. Don't just put up an icon or a random picture or something of you kayaking. You want to have a good professional photo because LinkedIn is a professional platform and people come here to do business and they want to do business with other people. So go for a nice, professional, good looking picture. After that, you're going to want to have a good summary. You can read my summary here. I help men increase sales, improve their confidence and trust by teaching them how to dress professionally. So in very few words, I try to summarize what I'm all about. In addition, I let people know I'm in the Austin area. Even though I live up in Wisconsin, I do get down to Austin quite a bit. And now I'm the founder at Real Men Real Style and also the president at atailoredsuit.com. Now, this stuff is, most people don't have a problem putting with what's currently going on. But where I see a lot of people mess up on is the number 2 thing, where they put in their past. They try to impress people with everything they've done in the past, even though some of it doesn't apply to with where they want to go or with what they're doing now. So I say, really streamline your past and look at, okay, is this going to be useful in helping somebody understand who I am and make them want to do business with me? So I put the fact that I was a captain in the United States Marine Corps because I know it instills trust and it gives a lot of the vets out there a reason to want to come connect with me. And it gives me a lot of credibility, which I earned. And it's one of those things I like to put that out there because I want people to understand where I'm coming from. But what you're not going to see is the few months that I spent as the CFO of a manufacturing plant. I don't think it applies. In addition, I used to climb radio communication towers when I was in college. Not a lot of people know that. And yes, it is my past, but I'm not going to put it here because I don't want to confuse people. Next, my education. I talk about that I went to not just the University of Texas, but I went to the business school at UT. In addition, I also put that at where I did my undergrad. Now, my recommendations, I could probably be doing this a lot better. One way, if you don't know if you don't know how to get recommendations, one way to do, you want them to be sincere, but One way to possibly get more recommendations is to think about people you've worked with in the past and to go recommend them first. And the law of reciprocity is people are then going to want to give you a recommendation. Now you need to keep it sincere and it needs to be real, but the great thing about LinkedIn recommendations is they can be very small and still very effective. Connections. You want to have and you want to build up to well over 100 connections. LinkedIn is about connections and you want this to be a strong number. Once you go over 500, all of a sudden it's not going to it's not going to count past 500. It's just going to say 500 plus. And your websites. Now, notice what I see very few people ever do this, but I add a descriptor to the websites I'm going to be sending you to. So if you want to learn more about business formal business style articles, I'm going to take you over to a tailored suit because there I talk about suits and ties, dress shoes. If you want to learn about business casual style, I'll send you over to Real Men Real Style because I talk a lot about denim there and other things which are more casual. And if you want to learn through video, then I'll send you to my video channel as well. Now let me show you somebody else that's doing a great job. My friend Drew. So look at what Drew's got. Look at this profile picture. Great profile picture. So he's got light skin, light hair, and he uses a very muted background. He's got the professional looking sports jacket on, and he's got this bright, strong, medium blue shirt that looks great on him. He puts what his current position is. He talks about his past. It all makes sense as to where he's at right now. His education, his number of connections, and then his company and his personal website. And if I look at his public profile, which always make sure to look at your public profile, I can see that everything looks solid. In addition, Drew shares a lot more information about his past and what groups he's in. I can see Drew is an Eagle Scout. I can see he's in the Entrepreneur Society. So I can have a better understanding of of who Drew is. Now let's look at Barney Bishop. He's over at Marketing with Working Stiffs. Great profile, awesome picture, Barney. And I can see where he's at. I can look at his connections. I can see he's got 9 recommendations. I can look at his portfolio. I know he's got a blog which I follow called Fragrant Moments, in which he talks about scents and masculinity. The only thing is, when I click on his public profile, I'll notice that, boom, all of a sudden, I can't get to his websites, and I can't see much about Barney. So I would recommend that he would go back. If you remember, go back and look at my public profile. You can get to my websites, and you can quickly see my summary. So that's one thing people want to check out. On my LinkedIn profile, actually, I'll share with you, you'll be able to see what I'm tweeting about. But again, on your public profile, make sure that it is in sync with your inside in LinkedIn profile. Grant Harris is another great example. I love Grant's profile picture. Look at that. I can see that he's into the custom clothing. 2 great suits, a great look. Everything in his past as a personal shopper, as a menswear branding manager, all of this makes sense as to where he is at. I can see his latest tweet. So all of this works well. He's got 194 connections. 3 people have recommended him. But when I go look at his public profile, I can go to his Twitter and his about picture. But one thing that I can't do is I can't see a picture of Grant. And that's something that Grant needs, he probably, after he sees this, he's going to go make the change. In addition, I would like to be able to, I know he's got a great blog, and I can't get to it from here. So in summary, you want to focus and have a good, solid picture. You want to make sure your LinkedIn past makes sense with where you're headed and where you're currently at. You want to make sure your education, you're specific. On your recommendations, you want to try to get as many of those as possible. Your LinkedIn connections, try to get over 100. And your listed websites, make sure that people can link to those and get to those. All right, so as you can see, there's a lot of people in the group that need help. And it's something, again, 25 minutes, you can be up and running on these 6 points. You're going to want to spend more time building out your summary, going through and making sure your experience looks good, asking for recommendations. That is something that takes a bit of time. And you'll want to join groups. Groups are very powerful and a great way to connect with other people. All right, this has been Antonio Centeno with Real Men Real Style. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know if you liked it. It's a little bit off topic from what I normally go into, but I firmly believe that style doesn't stop at our clothing. Style, it's all about the projection that we put out of who we are. And not just the projection, but oftentimes when people do, especially in nowadays, if people don't get to meet us face to face as much as we would like, and we're doing so much work virtually, I think it's very, very important that on a platform such as LinkedIn, you have a strong professional appearance. Okay, take care, and again, let me know if you like this. Bye-bye.